Okay then, now then a couple of the teachers have asked me if you have to use WebClass. No, you can use whatever platforms you want, whatever's convenient, as long as you can make contact with the students, no problem. But particularly in the early days, I think it's important to welcome the students, make them feel relaxed, make them assured that you are in contact with them, and they shouldn't worry. And I think WebClass can handle that quite well. So I want to show you a couple of things here. Here's the website. You're already into the Gakunai Saito, and let's go to WebClass here. Okay, just clicking on that, and when you go in, I'm in the wrong page here, but never mind. Let's just go into, you'll probably come into the course list, right? Okay, so you should see something like that. Okay, here you can see we got two names for the same class. There's the English name. We switched over to all English. This is the old Japanese name. And some of you can have that problem and might create problems with the use of WebClass later. I'll try and fix that for you now. Okay, I'm just going to take you down here into the first year's area. You won't have this, don't worry too much about that. Exactly the same thing as if you click on these things, okay? I've got this, you won't have this, don't worry about it. But I've got a questionnaire here, an English questionnaire, and you can see over there's the questionnaire itself. You can see the questionnaire, you can click on that. And here you'll be able to see the performance of the students, yeah? So that the students have actually taken the test. I've got they've taken the questionnaire rather. I've got 17 students who've done that. You can click on that. So you get the information about how long it took them to do it and so on there. Not particularly interesting maybe, although you will be able to get their numbers from that. Put that over there, you can sort of get their student numbers. You get that information quite straightforwardly there. Gakushu Dieki, that one over on the far side. The interesting one is here, Anketo Shuke there. This gives you the data related to the questionnaire. So it actually gives you a bar graph and a pie chart for the questions. Okay, so for example, where will it be easier for you to study online? Into with your parents, no difference, no answer, and you get, that's there. So you can get, you can get the information from the students, and you can actually see the data quite clearly. So it's not bad. Now let's just go back to the course list here. Let's say, for example, we want to go in here, and we're going to make some kind of. Let me just get rid of that first. Okay. We're going to make some kind of. I want to get rid of this as well, actually. Let's get rid of that. I made that earlier. Going to make a little anketo, because particularly in the early days, just make them feel relaxed. They know they exist. You're not shouting at them. That's probably going to be good enough. So let's make a little anketo, little questionnaire here. We click on Anketo and we put in a title. Let's make it question. Let's make it quest, like that. Okay, just so it's easy to remember later. You put in some kind of explanation for the students and for yourself, so you don't forget what it is. And then you go down to this. That's all you do, right? You leave the rest of it. Don't bother with that. That's already say that you want the anketo with the name on it. Okay, so that's there. And you go down to this bit at the bottom here. All right, test sakse mondai henshu there. Okay, you click on that. Okay, and this asks you if you really want to do it. Don't know why. Say okay, and then you go into this area, and now you can make the first question for the anketo. So, for example, how are you? And let's say you have 3 options. I don't know. Let's say good, bad, and you could if you want, right, if you want to make it a text box, you just write in sonota, sonota, whatever it is, and if you do that, right, this will actually give you a text box that you can fill in. Okay, you don't have to do that, of course. Doesn't really matter. You can actually get rid of it if you want. Okay, so just have it like just have the options. You can have as many options as you like. Just got 2 in this case. So you can save that, for example, and then when you saved it, you can go into the new question area over here. Okay, you click on that, and I don't know, just say, how are you now? And then they say something like, let's make it 3 options. Good, or I don't know, better, worse, same as before. Oops. So that's your questionnaire. Okay, so basically, you can just put as many questions as you like. Doesn't matter. Save that, and now you're done. All right. So you've put in the title, you've put in the questions, and that's the end of that. You can get out of that if you want now. And let's go back into our course list. And we did that in here, didn't we? Introduction to English Linguistics. Okay, and there it is. All right. Now you can look at it there if you want. You click on that. You can eventually be able to check in here, and you'll be able to look at the student's performance. Let's have a quick look at that for the moment. Remember, I don't know who this student is. Some random person from God knows where. You can see this. Remember you can see the students there who are kind of registered for that, or who've done it actually, or who've actually done the question. Nobody has, of course. I just made it. And here, remember that bit there? This is where you can look at the data. Of course, nobody's done it, but you'll be able to look at the pie chart and the bar graph of all of that. So that's kind of nice. Now again, if we go back in there, remember some of these courses have 2 names. That could be a problem because even though this is the same course, that questionnaire, let's get rid of this. That questionnaire that we just made doesn't appear, right? So even if it's the same course, it'll be students who have been who entered the university a bit earlier. They won't have that won't come into the same area, right? So that's a problem. So let's go back into the course list again. We know we just done this quiz, this questionnaire here. Right, there it is. If you look at these 3 little dots here, okay, there's the one we just made, remember? We just get 3 dots here, and if we look down, it says better course ni copy. Okay, so then you can, now remember we're going from English Linguistics, Introduction to English Linguistics, and we want to do it to the old title, right? So you have to remember that old title. Okay, this comes up here. There's English, let's have a look. Where is it? Eigogaku Guide on. That's my Japanese title, right? So you have to remember that. Click on that, copy it. Okay. And now if you go back in, you can do the course list. You can now see that you've done Introduction to English Linguistics. There it is there. Go back into that. So that's all right. And then you can look at this one, the Japanese title. And it's also there now because we copied it successfully. Okay, so yeah, I think it's, you can basically use anything you want. But some of this might be useful, particularly in the early stages, right? When the students just want to know if you're there, if they're making contact. They might panic a bit if they don't know what's going on. So WebClass might be useful for that. Yeah, and if you set up a questionnaire, just make them feel relaxed for a week or so, that might well be enough. That's what I think. Anyway. Just an idea. See what you think, and let me know if you've got any problems.